So what I'm trying to get at is that the whole idea of this, I mean, he can say what he wants, he has freedom of speech, but fuck, don't throw out, especially with Homeland Security and all these mainstream media fucks are saying, if you believe in this shit, you're an anti-Semite. You know what? I don't share those views. But I believe in a lot of the shit that I believe in inside jobs, I believe in all that stuff. But I'm not going to be a part of this, and I'm going to separate myself from this because I don't want to be a part of it. Now, like I said, I'm not telling people not to go to Rentz's site. I'm not telling people, yeah, go ahead and give her a hand. I'm not telling people not to go to Rentz's site, and I'm not telling people to stay away. What I'm trying to tell you is be aware, especially now when they're drawing and quartering people. Because the problem I get is whenever I point out these inconsistencies, people always say, well, aren't you guys on the same team? Aren't you guys fighting for the truth? No! I'm not a worker in the light. I'm not fighting for that truth, and I'm certainly not an anti-Semite. So no, I am not on the same fucking team. Okay? I'm reporting. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm not a narcissist saying I have all the truth and no one else has it. I'm not paranoid thinking that everybody's out to get me. Okay? I'm just not. Go ahead.
It seems in the numbers game, I don't understand how Arabs fit into your model.
Well, they don't, because I'm not talking about Arabs and Jews. I'm talking about irresponsibility in reporting. That's what I'm talking about. I can give a fuck about it. I can give a fuck about Jewish politics. I don't care. I don't care. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't care about the politics. I don't. Go ahead.
I talked to a guy tonight, and I was trying to explain Palestine and Israel, and the thing that I pointed out to him is, look, you tear up olive groves, and you bulldoze people's houses, and what happens? I mean, we're here in Portland, we have forests, we have beautiful lakes and rivers. What happens when they cut down the forests and they tear up the nature? They put in multi-million-dollar housing projects.
Right.
Who gets the money? So if I'm just checking myself here, but are you saying it doesn't have to do with Semite, anti-Semite, any of that stuff? Somebody's getting money out of this
Well,
deal.
what it has to do with is it has to do with the fact that the media is saying that people who believe in these things, the 9/11 Truth Movement, the Birther Movement, all these things that are against Barack Obama,
Right.
I'm not going to be hanging my ass out there. They say that they're anti-Semites and anti-black.
Right.
I'm not going to be hanging my ass out there on a website saying that Hitler was framed, basically proving those motherfuckers right. I don't want to do that. That's the point. I'm not talking, I don't give a shit about Israel.
It's
or
a money thing, though, isn't
Zionism.
it? It's the rich people taking land from people.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the responsibility of the media, the responsibility of the independent media, and what they're doing. If you want to talk about Jews, you know, you can do that on Jeff Rentz's site. You can do that on any other site out there. But I'm not going to play in that playing field when immediately Homeland Security is looking for people that are just waiting to throw the first
They're
punch.
just like naming targets? What
Yeah, that's all they're doing. You see, what I'm trying to get at is that this type of reporting lacks objectivity. That's what I'm trying to say. It lacks objectivity, it's lower level reporting, it's using bias. It's using bias and hatred to basically prove your point. It's like the same people that are Republican and will lean all Republican, or Democrat will lean all Democrat. It loses its objectivity. It doesn't make sense. Especially when criminal activity is going on all the time. Go ahead.
I understand you're just trying to paint the shades of gray between mainstream media
Yes.
and the way out.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Thank you so much. In fact, I'm sorry that we're taking so long. We've probably got some guests I want to bring up here. I want to say one thing before I bring my guests up. There is a principle which is a bar against information, against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep a man in everlasting ignorance, and that principle is contempt prior to investigation. Herbert Spencer said that. Give him a hand. If you go into an investigation with contempt, you're going to come out with results that are going to be tainted. If you go in with objectivity, you're going to come out with more information. So please, if you're going to be exploring your conspiracy theories, you're going to be exploring all those things, just use a little bit more responsibility. Don't go off thinking that, you know, don't be paranoid, don't be shell-shocked, don't get off with narcissism saying you have the truth and no one else does. Be a little bit more responsible. I'm going to bring some people